Hello, everyone. Welcome back to SanPod, San Agustin podcast. In this very inspirational story, we have an extremely extraordinary woman with us, Dr. Rita Shea-Van Fossen from Nova Southeastern University. Give a big round of applause for her.
Thank you. Terima kasih.
Yeah. Who is also a FulBright specialist assigned at Universitas Katolik Santo Agustinus Hippo. So, we'll talk about a very interesting theme today, female leadership. So, let's get right into it. Dr. Rita, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from New York City, the Queensboro, and I've actually lived all over the United States.
Oh, wow. All the way from the United States of
Yes.
America. Nice. Is this your first time in Indonesia?
It is my first time in Indonesia. In fact, first time going anywhere in Asia. So it's been quite the experience.
Nice. You are assigned as a FulBright specialist this year. Can you tell us what is FulBright specialist program?
FulBright program is actually a group of programs run by the U.S. State Department. It started right after World War II, 1946, if I'm remembering that right. And the whole idea of the FulBright program was to promote education and also cross-cultural understanding, which was obviously very important today as it was after the war. Now there's programs both for academics like myself, professionals like myself, to go to other countries to share our knowledge, hopefully help universities across the globe. People do research, they do teaching. There's different programs for scholars. They also have a student program where students from the U.S. can come here to help other students learn English. They also have programs for international scholars and students to be able to go to the U.S. for study, for research, for teaching folks in the United States about the cultures that they come from.
Okay, awesome. So in your program, specifically FulBright specialist, right?
Yeah.
So what activities did you engage while in Indonesia?
Well, FulBright Specialist Program, very one of the smaller programs, more I'll call it boutique programs of FulBright. It's for people who have specialized skills. So in my case, my expertise is in business. I had a long corporate career as well as my academic career. My Ph.D. is in management, organizational behavior and human resource management. So programs, universities across the globe, such as the Catholic University of St. Augustine Hippo, propose projects and then ask for scholars if they're willing to come, and they match them together. So we were matched together, and we help from anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks, depending on the project, and help that university in whatever area that they're looking for expertise in.
Yeah, match from heaven, they
There
call
you
it.
go. It's been a wonderful match on many, many levels.
All right, thank you. So let's get right into the second part, which is the theme that we're going to talk about, the female leaders. I know that you've been quite experienced in female leadership. So I learned that one of your interests is female leadership. Can we talk about that?
Sure. Obviously female. Anyway, and I've definitely led over the years. I had a 20-year corporate career, mainly in accounting and finance, but I was a CFO for American Red Cross out of Philadelphia, a number of leadership roles in my corporate career. In my academic career, I've kind of come back to that theme because I know how fortunate I was. I also know the journey for females, even today, much less when I started my career, it's not the same as male. It's not it's different. I think I see this in my students that I know they can be amazing leaders, but they don't always know it themselves. So that's really what led me more to coming back to that and saying, can I help? Are there things that I've learned that others that I know have learned that we can share to help the next generation make it a little easier road for them?
Right. Yeah. So what initially sparked your interest in female leadership?
It's funny. I always just thought of good leadership over the years, regardless of who. But actually, when I took the position at Nova Southeastern University, when I was interviewing for it, the dean at the time was a gentleman wonderful gentleman, and named Dr. Preston Jones. When he was talking about, I'd love you to come, and I actually have this program I would love to do, and I think you'd be the perfect person for it. And he talked about, I'd love to start a women's leadership program, and with my long corporate career as well as my academic work, he's like, I think you'll be the perfect person to do this, and we would love you to come here and launch this program.
I can see that. You are the perfect
and needless
candidate
to
for
say,
that.
I had a couple offers, but literally that couple-minute conversation convinced me that I needed to go to South Florida and go to Nova Southeastern University, and I've been very privileged to be able to launch that program there to help the next generation, make it a little easier road for them.
Yeah, and the rest is history.
There you go.
Right?
We're working on the history.
Well, in your opinion, it's
There you
definitely
go.
an interesting one. What are some unique challenges faced by women, especially in leadership roles?
I think this is global, I'll say, unfortunately now.
Right.
I think for most people, when you think leadership, even today, you think male.
Right.
And, when you see a woman leader, it's just different. And so because of that, you go, wait a minute, this doesn't match. And so therefore, as women, we have to lead a bit differently to show everybody we do belong, and we can do just as good as a job, if not better. No offense.
Definitely. No, man. No offense taken at all.
That we have let's have great, women, great men, let's elevate the right people to leadership. So I think for women, definitely we're not the role model that people think of even today. I think the other thing is, women, we still tend to balance both work and family, and trying to balance both. We talk about it in the women's leadership research about the second shift. And even when we have great supporters, a lot of times the home, you're trying to balance both. So I think, especially as you move on in your career and have families, how do you strike the right balance? And again, just because the society cultures usually say, no, mom needs to do this sometimes. Well, you know
Stay at home.
There you go.
Don't act so, right?
And I think that's the other thing is a lot of times culturally, and again, I think people very well meaning, think of the traditional family of the woman at home and the man out there, and that's a wonderful model, but life will mean that's not the model for everybody.
Right.
So I think, women need to find the right role for them. And if it is leadership, let's have again, there's some amazing women out there that I, in a heartbeat, should be running things. And let's let them use their gifts in the right way.
They say, who run the world?
Yeah,
Girl.
there you go. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. We've got some good inspirations these days.
Beyonce on the house. Okay, so can you share any personal experiences or observation that have shaped your views on female leadership?
Yeah, I think a big one is when we were looking to start the program, and I've had several experiences around that time where I have some awesome and amazing students, female students, again, male and female.
Yeah.
But one in particular, one of my students, I'll name her because I know she's probably going to listen to this.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to Natalie.
Natalie.
I remember Natalie. She's an amazing student. She's now an amazing alumni doing great things. But it was funny. She would come up. And there was an opportunity that was available, and there was two male students with her. And I'm like, Natalie, you should go for this. And it was a pretty prestigious opportunity. And she's like, no, let the guys do it. I'm like, no offense. You are so much better than them. And you're more talented. And again, you are the right person for this. And what I realized and I observed because of that one experience is that for many of my students, again, culturally, they take a step back.
Right.
Instead of taking that step forward, even though they probably are the right person for that opportunity. So for me, what really shaped it is I think we need to make sure that our young ladies especially know it's okay to step up. You're actually helping everybody if you're able to step up in that leadership role, especially ones that you are definitely qualified for, and we know you can be awesome and amazing. So don't be afraid to take those opportunities.
What a very inspirational story.
There you go. Yeah.
So again, what strategies or initiatives do you think are effective in promoting and supporting women in the leadership positions, because definitely there is a hashtag, women supports women.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a true believer in, I call it the girls club. I know everybody doesn't use the girls club thing, but it's near to me. It makes me feel younger by using it.
Well, you're young.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Hardly. But so I think promoting. I think this is the big thing: is we need support from others, and especially because again, today still most of the leadership roles are with males. We need amazing male supporters to be able to help. And to me, what really is an effective strategy is to have those supporters, to have those people in the room that go, it doesn't matter who you are.
Doesn't matter what gender.
Doesn't matter. Who is the best person for the job?
Exactly.
And the other, and having those people that will put names up that aren't the traditional names. I think, the other thing is, I think a really effective strategy is, especially for leaders, don't exclude anybody. I think it's easy to go, why should we put, don't put Rita up there. She's got young, children. She's getting married, whatever this, life stage you're at is. Oh, she just had a grandbaby, whatever that life stage is, and going, she won't travel or she won't be able to do whatever because, you know what? You never know. You don't know the situations of your and what things will work. I'm fortunate to have literally a whole village around me that has allowed me to do the things I've been able to do in my career. When leadership opportunities came up, I have a spouse who was able to leave his job at 3:00 and be home for kids. Worked very hard, very successful, but ebbs and flows of careers allow everybody to have that opportunity. And I think, if it's not the right time for them, when you approach them and say, hey, this opportunity is for you, let them turn it down versus not putting them in the opportunity area to start with. Give them the opportunity.
I got a goosebump, actually.
And I think that's just it, because I think we lose out on really great people that can help our organizations, help our communities be better because
we assume the worst sometimes, instead of include someone.
Yeah. And again, I think for, what an honor when someone comes to you and go, I think you're the best person for this job. I love my boss to do that. Anyway, that's the best days, right? Even if you have to say, I don't think it's the right time for me. You know what? But just even being asking. I think, but give opportunities. And I think really it's incumbent upon today's leadership to make sure that they're including everybody into the pool of candidates that have opportunities. Because again, that'll allow us to pick the best ones.
It really tickles me, especially now that I'm working as a leader in a university, in an organization. How can an organization foster a more inclusive, since you talk about include everyone, right? How to foster more inclusive and diverse leadership culture, particularly in terms of gender equality?
Again, let's make sure we're lifting up all names and the right names. And, for whatever anybody's talents are, let's use those talents effectively. There are programs, we call it in the United States the Romney Rule, where you always want to have, diverse candidates in the pool. Those have mixed results. I think the big thing is making sure that all voices are heard. And again, I think a lot of this does come down to leadership embracing that. I think, for organizations, building that culture from the ground up of let's make sure we're developing our people. Let's make sure we're giving opportunities to people and doing that on a regular basis at all levels. Again, not everybody's going to want to aspire to the top leader position, but let's make sure we're developing our people. We're giving them the opportunities along the way, sitting down and learning who your people are. I think it's the biggest thing about diversity and inclusion here is let's learn from each other. I mean, that's been an awesome thing I've seen in Indonesia is incredibly diverse communities who live side by side. Shouldn't our organizations look the same and give all those same, let's embrace what makes them different? I think the other thing about what helps to bring in that diverse culture and to promote more inclusive leadership is let's embrace all types of leadership. I think, we talk about like servant leadership, and I know that's a big, very big here at St. Augustine is, let's be that servant. Well, that servant leadership actually has been shown to be even better for organizations, but it actually is seen, when you look at the research, it tends to be more natural for women than men. And we think of that assertive, I'm going to be Superman and take over. Yeah.
Like powerful, ambitious.
And you know what? You don't have to be that and still be a great leader. And again, there's a place for that type of leadership. There's also a place for more humble leadership. And let's open up for all. And again, different people coming from different cultures, different people, different genders, all that. We're all going to lead a little bit differently. And let's be open to all those. Again, let's find the right person for the right moment, for the right position. Boy, that goes above all else.
Second goosebumps.
There you go.
And I imagine this episode when it's aired, a lot of my female friends and I think girls and women out there will be really inspired. So let's go to the next question. What advice would you give to aspiring female leaders out there who may face obstacles, challenges, or issues along their journey?
Absolutely, yeah. You will face obstacles. You will face challenges. Remember, the challenge makes you stronger anyway.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yes, absolutely. We're doing the musical theme here.
I know.
But you will face obstacles along the way, and I think probably one of the biggest skills is perseverance.
Perseverance.
And you know what? Just because it doesn't work the first time, keep fighting the good fight, especially if you really are passionate about something. Your time will come. Sometimes you need some patience balanced with that perseverance, which I know I've struggled with at times because I want it now. I want it done now. I know we can be better if we do this now. I think perseverance. I think put good people around you. You can't do it alone. No one can.
Here.
Yeah. Build that tribe, build that team, build that club, whatever that gender is, club around you, to make sure, build those relationships that then, when things don't work, they're going to give you that atta-girl, even atta-boy to move forward, because you will have obstacles. I think you will have doubts. Things won't go right. Welcome to my life. There's a lot of things that don't go right. You know what? Dust yourself off. Pick yourself off. Let it go. There's another musical theme for us. And move forward. I think especially for females, the research says we ruminate on, especially as humans, we ruminate on the negative. And it's done for protection so we don't make those mistakes over again, especially, if they're, things that are a little bit dangerous, and that's how we were built for. But when it happened, something happens, you can't change the past. Just go, okay, if something happened, you have to say you're sorry. Yep. And move forward. Move forward. Yeah. The other thing I will say, and I think a lot of, sometimes people think asking for help is a sign of weakness.
Right.
It's not. It's actually a sign of strength. It takes a lot to ask for help. And for a lot of people, even more so, and especially if you're trying to aspire for leadership and you're not sure, that, oh, wait a minute, am I not qualified for this? That, take that step, move forward, ask for the help you need. And you know what? Some of those people that helped you then will be your biggest cheerleaders later on, and probably especially as you move forward.
Amen to that.
Yeah, absolutely. It asks for help. It really is. And a good leader, I need your help to do this.
Right.
To me, that shows they really, value their people. And what a great way to show you value them is that that leader comes and asks for your help, to ask, maybe a word of advice. How do you see this situation or whatever? So I think for leaders, especially when those doubts creep in, the obstacles creep in, definitely reach out to people. And again, some of my best times were the times I really needed that safety net, and someone gave it to me and helped me to get me to that next level. And so I think that's really important, is to ask for help when you need it. Put good people around you, build those relationships both ways. You help them, they'll help you. So it's important to truly build a relationship, not just a network of Facebook followers or Instagram followers. Really build some good relationships that can help you for the long term.
Wow. What a powerful message.
Thank
you so much for the advices. Now, I know that it's going to be your last days here for your assignment for FulBright specialist. So while you're doing your assignment here from FulBright specialist program, do you have any interesting experiences during your time here in Kalimantan Barat or West Kalimantan?
Yeah, I've had a lot of great experiences. I've definitely had very interesting. It's been again it's a different culture than I come from. I've been, both here in Pontianak, and then up in Nangbangang. And both are different. But learning the culture, I think being engaged, and it's all the little things that I've done. Iftar and breaking the fast, it was new for me. I mean, I've had students of mine, colleagues of mine who are Muslim, and they're, I'm fasting today. No, I can't go to lunch today. That's kind of been my exposure. But to really see, here in Indonesia, they do the celebrations at the start of Ramadan, to see, groups of family and friends getting together to break the fast.
Going to Takjil War.
Yes, I went to the wars. I went to for the non-Muslim, especially any Americans listening to this, literally you have to go to the ATM machine to prepare for this war. And the whole idea is you have a bunch of really hungry people that all go to the mosque. So, all go to the religious and the one here in Pontianak, literally probably 100 different vendors. I think it's every Muslim-owned restaurant in the entire of West Kalimantan comes, and you get all kinds of goodies and everything else after you have not been eating for like 10 to 12 hours. So these people are serious, and you've got to get to the good stands. You've got to get too early and bring your cash to be able to get. I want that before the other person takes it. And it's actually, it was wonderful to see. You see families together, little ones running around, and you buy way too much food, because the worst time to go shopping for food is when you're really, really hungry.
Exactly.
So I will admit, at the war, I think we bought enough food for not only like everybody where we were staying, but also for like the next 3 days. Anyway, that was supposed to be for one meal, but that was an interesting experience and a lot of fun.
Cool. So, how's general impressions so far? Not only about the culture, but also the university per se. Like, how do you see your experience so far?
The experience has been amazing. Actually, I knew you would have challenges. Any organization, especially one that merges. For folks that may not know, the Catholic University of St. Augustine Hippo is actually in a way for them to be able to bring a Catholic university to this area. It made more sense to acquire several other universities that were going to be going away. And so whenever you merge an organization, regardless of the type of organization, there's challenges. You're bringing people that were hired under different leadership. You are bringing different policies. And then better yet, here, we're kind of throwing everybody together and let's stir and try to make it work. And so, that's definitely challenging. I knew I was walking into that, and I've been used to that before at other, organizations. What was so amazing here is, first of all, how quickly you've been able to bring everything together to get to university status. Happened very rapidly. I mean, the first acquisition was about 6 years ago. Pandemic in between, which I'm sure slowed a lot of things. It's for everybody.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, and then coming out of that, within 2 years, moving to university status. I mean, a lot of hard work. The people here are amazing. Just so you can appreciate, literally folks here, they've kept their head down, just working, trying to make things wonderful for the students here, to give opportunity to the communities here in West Kalimantan. And you're doing that. I think you're starting to see some fruits from the labor. There's a lot of more hard work to be done. I've given suggestions, which is what I was brought here to do, and given some ideas, help to give some tools, hopefully, that can help the university move forward in a good way. But I think you've got such a great foundation to grow from. And that, to me, again, the people here are what I was just so impressed with. And again, the dedication, especially, I think for all the employees, you've got some amazing, especially lecturers, faculty, that have been here even through a predecessor organization, and seeing all these changes and still have just as much passion for the students here. And that's so wonderful. And again, what a great base to grow from, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what y'all are doing in the future.
Thank you. Really, it warms my heart.
Yeah. Oh, my pleasure. Believe me, the
so
pleasure's been
much.
mine. My heart has definitely been very full the whole time here, and definitely hard to say goodbye.
Aw.
But yeah, I know
It's not a goodbye.
It's for now.
Yeah,
It's
for
for
now,
now.
right? See you later.
Yeah.
See, this is a very inspirational talk. Like, we adore you. Thank you so much
goes both ways.
for everything that you've done for our university, all the helps, all the assistance. We really appreciate that. So once again, we give a big round of applause for Dr. Rita
thank you.
Shea-Van Fossen from Nova Southeastern University, our first FulBright specialist here at Universitas Katolik Santo Agustinus Hippo. So thank you everyone who has listened to the podcast today with me, Kunto, and also Dr. Rita. Stay tuned for more podcasts from SanPod, San Agustin Podcast. Sign off. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Goodbye. Dadah.
Bye.